So I think that has finally done it. Yes, we are. Someone said good evening. Good evening to you. Thanks for joining me. This is just a quick live stream, just to say a massive thank you to you, my subscribers, for getting me to 100,000 subscribers. I really do appreciate it. Um, it seems to be a customary thing that when you hit the 100,000 subscribers, you do a live stream. So I'm in my hotel room. I've just spent most of the day filming some really interesting boats. I think you're going to love the boats that I filmed today. A converted former Dutch fishing trawler, fishing cutter, has been turned into a fantastic long range steel explorer yacht. I think you'll really enjoy that one. And I was on a motor sailor this afternoon as well. So Adam says, congrats. Thank you, Adam. Capture, good evening. Good evening to you. I hope you've got a beer. I bought a Corona Extra to the live stream. F1 Matt says, evening and congratulations. Congratulations galore. If any of you have got any questions at all, feel free to ask them in the chat, and I can see it on the bottom of my screen here, and I'll answer any questions that you've got. But yeah, so I'm here tonight in this hotel, and then tomorrow I've got 5 boats to film, I think, altogether. And I'm going to be flying back to London City Airport in the evening. Baked beans or scrambled eggs? I don't know. It'd have to be scrambled eggs, I think. You cannot beat scrambled eggs and beans. Scott says, boom, congratulations. Have a well-deserved beer. Yeah, I only got 1 beer, because I'm not quite sure how long this live stream is going to last. So I thought I'd just get 1 beer. But if it goes on for a little bit longer, I might have to put it on pause and go and get another Corona. I was hoping for a Guinness, but they don't sell Guinness here in the Netherlands, which is a shame. Mike Jarvis says, congratulations and morning from New Zealand. Good morning to you, sir. What time is it in New Zealand at the moment? It is 9 o'clock local time here, so 8 o'clock London time. But yeah, let me know what time zone you're in. Something else I'm interested to know from you guys and girls is your favorite explorer yacht. Let me know what your favorite explorer yacht is and why. And also, let me know which of my videos is the one you've most enjoyed and why. Because if I can get anything from this live stream in terms of feedback, it'd be really handy, because I like to know what you all think. I mean, I always try and reply to the comments on the videos, but it's good to do this kind of interactive live stream. So yeah, let me know what your favorite explorer yacht is and why, whether you prefer steel, aluminium, or GRP or wood, and which of my videos that you've watched is your favorite and why. John Kay says, been following almost since the beginning. Oh, thank you, John. Appreciate it. And it's been great watching the channel grow into what it is now. John says one of the best, if not the best, channel for great boats. Thanks, John. I appreciate that. It's not my dad, is it? My dad's called John. Giving me support on my live stream. No, John K, I do appreciate that. Every video that I do, I try and make my latest one slightly better than the last one. And although the comments can get a bit savage sometimes in terms of some feedback that you get, I always try and take it as constructive criticism. Requiem Sky, congratulations from Wales. Hello to you, my friend. Eric Van Zel says, anything bearing? Yes, bearing yachts are very, very popular. I don't know whether you've seen it yet. I did do a weekend on a Bearing 92 Papillon with Super Yacht Captain and another Super Yacht Captain, actually. That was a really cool weekend, and Bearing really looked after us. That was one of my highlights, without a doubt, over the last couple of years. Mike says it's Friday, 7 a.m. It's early for you then, Mike. Appreciate you joining the live stream. Rayful says, I like the Altena BWT the most. Yeah, Altena Yachting do make some fantastic boats. And my point of contact there, who I normally speak to, Ian, is a really, really top guy. But yeah, I love going to Altena Yachting. I featured one of their trawlers recently. Actually, a couple had seen a shorts that I made of their boat, so I was filming some other boats in the marina, and I saw this boat, and I shot a quick reel and shared it on my socials. And the owners ended up seeing that video, and they said to me, "Look, if you want to come and film our boat, you're more than welcome." And I absolutely jumped at the opportunity. Um, yeah, I really enjoyed that, and that's one of the weird things with doing this YouTube malarkey is that the community that is built is one that I really appreciate. And going on people's boats, people who I've never met before, and they let me go on their boats and film. It's something I'm always forever grateful for. I remember last year I went on Scintilla Marie, the 47-meter former Dutch beam trawler. I met the owners, husband and wife couple, absolutely fantastic. It was such a blast. Really, really enjoyed that. But I can only do it thanks to you all for subscribing. So I really do appreciate it. Let's see if we've got any questions in here. Dave Stanley says the Elling E6 for me looks hardcore. Yeah, that was a great boat. I really enjoyed going on the E6. Met Walter from Elling. His dad set the business up, and we went out for the afternoon, did some cruising, stopped for a pub lunch in between filming. And yeah, that was the E6 is just a beautiful boat. The E4 is beautiful. And then after the filming of the E6, I went and did some filming of an Elling gathering, basically. I think it was about 50 Ellings all gathered together. That was really cool. Capture says I am very much interested in more robust working boats. Also, a boat I'd like to see is the Polar Circle 1050. I've not heard of that one. I'll have to look. I'll have to look that one up. Polar Circle 1050. I mean, even the name suggests that it is pretty hardcore. So I'll definitely have a look at that. Someone else, F1 Matt, agree with the bearings. A big fan of the 72. Yes, 72 is a very nice boat. There's a 77 for sale at the moment, actually. And that is a beautiful boat as well. It's actually in Southampton at the moment, south coast of England. But if you're in the market for a bearing, that's definitely worth while looking at. Ulrich says, always a pleasure. Thank you, Ulrich. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. But it's 22:09, so 10 past 9 in Finland, and I'm watching Yacht Boy. Thanks. Thanks, I appreciate it. Mike Jarvis says, love any converted displacement trawlers around 24 meters. Yeah, 24 meters is the sweet spot. I don't have a boat at the moment, and that's one of the things I was going to say actually in this live stream is that I'm working on getting a boat, not to buy because I don't quite have the funds for a boat yet, and it's not a massive one. Just something to go out on and just kind of bring you guys and girls on a bit of a boating journey with me, my friends, and my family. Near where I live in Southend, there's some fantastic World War II heritage sites just out in the mouth of the Thames. I really want to show you all them, whether it's rough weather, nighttime, daytime. I want to take you out there and show them to you. The one was called the Red Sands Towers. You've got the Mulberry Harbour, the Montgomery. That sunk. It was an ammunition ship, and it sunk during World War II. So you won't be able to see much of it, obviously, but you can still see the top of the mast. But I'm hoping to get use of a boat. I can't say the name or the brand or anything just yet. Obviously, it's not going to be an explorer yacht because I'm going to be going out in the morning and coming back in the evening, but I need to cover quite a bit of distance. So it's going to be an outboard boat, fast boat, and one that can take up to Cat C conditions. So I'm hoping that comes off because I really think that being a yacht tuber, a boat tuber, you need to be on a boat or have a boat. And I can't quite afford one just yet. So hopefully, fingers crossed, the deal does come off. We'll have to wait and see. Right, any other questions floating around in there? Yeah, someone else saying again, the Bearing 72 is gorgeous boat. Yes, it is. I've not been over to Antalya for a while actually. Be good to get back out there again. Capture says, is it a Targa? It's not a Targa. However, I am open to anything. So if anyone from Targa or Sargo or anyone else happens to be watching this live stream, if the deal that I'm working on doesn't pan out, then yeah, reach out because I've got this fantastic idea for a series of videos. Like I say, just showcasing near to where I live, which is near the North Sea, northern side of the Thames estuary. You get some good gnarly conditions out there as well, and I've been going out there since I was a kid. So I just want to take you all out there, just kind of go on some boating adventures with you all. And if you've been subscribed to my channel for a while, you'll know that I love the gnarly stuff. So if we plan a trip and the weather's rubbish, we're going anyway. We're going anyway. Yeah, Simon Thornhill, I'm up for that. The SS Montgomery. Yeah, it is the SS Montgomery. Um, Not many people know about Montgomery, and I'm not a historian, so don't quote me on any of this. But yeah, it's an ammunition ship, and it's sunk during the Second World War. Ammunition is still on board the boat, so there's an exclusion zone around it. You can't get too near it. Although when I was in the RNLI, Southend RNLI, I remember a couple of times getting reports of people paddle boarding around the Montgomery. People sort of just saying, "Oh, look, I've seen people paddle boarding around the Montgomery." Uh, but yeah, so I'll be able to show you the mast, but I think it'd just be interesting to be in the area around where this bit of history is. But also, like I say, I think the Red Sands Towers would be fantastic. I think you guys and girls would love to see them if you've not seen them before, especially my American viewers are probably like that as well. Let's have a look. F1 Matt. Boat that come to mind is the Parker Baltic Cruiser, particularly as it's got Baltic in the name. 100%. If you've got a boat that says Baltic in it, then you pretty much know that it's going to be engineered for some gnarly stuff. 'Cause it's quite a bold statement to make, having Baltic in the name. But yeah, I was near the Baltic actually last year, filming with Vigo. I filmed the Vigo C8. That is an absolute beast. Again, that is on my channel. That is a beautiful boat. But yeah, I was right next to the Baltic, and it was Baltic as well. It was freezing. It's absolutely freezing. Christian says, "Hello, John. Greetings from Austria." Hello to you. Thank you, Christian, for joining the live stream. Really do appreciate it, and thanks for your support. Um, Steeler 59 is nice. Yes, it is. Yeah, one of my viewers actually a couple of years ago owns a Steeler and reached out to me and said, "Do you want to come and film it?" I was like, "Yeah, absolutely. Like, when shall I meet you on board when you're free?" And he said, "No, no, don't worry about that. Just go to the marina office, pick up the keys, and go on board." And I was like, "Wow!" And I'd never even met this guy. Um, and a week later, I was on board his beautiful Steeler, filming it on my own. Obviously, didn't take it out or anything, but yeah, that was again, it was just surreal. You're talking about a multi-million-pound boat, and the owner let me go on there. So yeah, I really did appreciate that. I'm actually trying to work out getting on board. I don't know whether you've seen it, the Steeler 80. Let me get a picture of it on my phone. I wrote a blog about it on my Substack actually. It's absolutely stunning. Hang on, let me just see if I can get a picture. Give me one second. Remember, if you haven't got any questions, just ping them in the comments, and I will go through and answer all of them. So, if you've got any questions about me, what I did in the Navy, my history, the YouTube channel, literally, you can ask me pretty much anything, and I'll happily answer. Just as my way of saying thank you for supporting the channel and getting me to 100,000 subscribers. Actually, it's 103,000 subscribers now. Um, yeah, which is just mind blowing. Ah, here we go. Let me just show you a picture of this. Ocean Explorer 85. I'm hoping to get on board this soon because this is absolutely beautiful. Ocean Explorer 85. Let me show you a picture. Yeah, right. Okay, I'm going to try and show you a picture of this. You can see that. Yeah, I'm going to hopefully get on board that soon. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. Just the color of that hull. I thought someone had come in my room then. Yeah, absolutely stunning. Custom Cruiser Steelers Luxury Ocean Explorer 85 just been launched. It's just incredible. Absolutely incredible. Okay, let's see if we've got any questions in here. The one I'm looking forward to seeing will be the Stadbrook Yacht 62 confirmed build starts next year. I'll have to look that one up. Yeah, I've not heard of that one either. That's the other thing with doing this YouTube channel is that, all the time you hear of boats that I probably never would have heard of before. Um, so yeah, it's just a great community. I mean, the boating community is a fantastic community anyway. And if you're watching this and you don't have a boat yet, but you're thinking about getting one, do it because the only community that I can think of that is similar to the boating one is the motorbike community. I haven't had a bike for a few years now, but my last bike was a BMW GS 1200. I got that model right. But yeah, and I think the boating community is very similar to the biking community. Everyone looks out for each other. If you get yourself into a bit of a dodgy situation on your bike, you know that most other bikers will come and help you out. And it's the same with boating. The boating community, uh, in the main, really does tend to look after each other. And I think that's one of the great things about having this particular segment on YouTube, along with obviously Naughty Styles, Nick from Aquaholic, David Seal, um, Victoria, Rico. We're just It's just a nice community to be a part of. And when I started the YouTube channel up a couple of years ago, I literally the only reason I did it at the time is just because I just missed being around people, around boats. So I thought, you know what, I'll make a couple of videos. And the early videos, I mean, I can't even watch them because they are pretty cringy. But the early videos, yeah, I made a few of them. I didn't really get much traction, and then one did, and I thought, okay, let's do some more. And now it's amazing because I have so many different boats that I can feature now, and a lot of the filming that I do is in the Netherlands, obviously, because over here there's a very strong, obviously, maritime heritage, but also there's a very strong leaning towards the kind of boats that we all like, the explorer yachts that we all like. So yeah, John said the CDM. Yeah, CDM's beautiful boats. They're doing really well at the moment. Actually, they are pumping out a lot of hulls. So fair play to them. I was on CDM last year. Someone's out on the balcony. Yeah, I was on a CDM last year actually, and at the Cannes Yachting Festival. They're just beautiful boats, and Maverick as well. Yeah, but that's the boat I was on actually. Yeah, Maverick. So that was just amazing boat, and I follow them on Instagram actually. It was a Flex Explorer because they're doing around the world circumnavigation. Um, John's asked about Bandido. Not sure what a Bandido is. Have you guys and girls heard of Life Proof boats? Have you heard of them? They are phenomenal. Life Proof boats. They've just launched a full cabin 42, I think it is. I saw some pictures of it on Instagram. That was, yeah, that's a really nice boat. John says he remembers the Maverick tour. Boat shows are always hard, filming on a boat show is really hard because you're never on the boat on your own for obvious reasons. And people don't know, other guests that are on board don't know what you're doing. Who are you or who am I? Walking around with a GoPro or my DJI Pocket 3, and I remember I did some filming there a couple of years ago at the Cannes Yachting Festival, and I was on a boat, and I won't say the make or the builder, but I was walking around, and it must have been one of the brokers involved with the boat was showing some people around, and I was walking around with my GoPro, and the look I got, honestly, the way he looked at me is to say, "What are you doing? Like, what are you doing on this boat?" So yeah, but boat shows are hard because you can't really film the boat how you want to film it, and I always try and capture the personality of a boat. I'm a strong believer that every boat has got its own personality. Even the exact same make and model, different hull numbers have got different personalities. And what I try and do in my videos is capture the essence or the personality of the boat. Um, but you can't really do that at a boat show. It's quite hard to do it, and that's one of the reasons why I like, come over to the Netherlands. I'm over in Ireland next week actually to film the Mediterranean spec version of Safe Haven Marine's Voyager 2 T2000. Um, so yeah, boat shows can be quite hard to do. Let's just catch up with some questions and see if we've got any in here. I'm just going to take a quick swig of the Corona. I might just shut my balcony door actually. Wait there. I get jumped. People walking by the balcony probably thinking, what the heck is that guy talking about? Um, I own a 50-foot Azimuth 2003. When I retire in 8 years, I will buy and explore a catamaran and the world. Mr. D. Yeah, which Explorer catamaran would you buy and why? And let us know in the comments. F1 Matt. Oh, he saw the video on the life proof taken at Palm Beach show. He looks pretty serious. Yeah, they are an impressive bit of kit. It's a shame there's none in the UK, because that would make for a fantastic video. Because I literally would take it out in any weather conditions, as long as I trust the boat in terms of its seakeeping, its handling, its reliability. I would take a boat out in pretty much any weather. And I remember when I joined Southend RNLI, one of the coxswains there, Tom. I remember I said to him, "Look, if we get a shout, if we get a call out, regardless of the weather, even if the weather is beyond the operating capabilities of our lifeboat, I said I will go out with you, whatever the weather." And yeah, he kind of smiled and nodded as if to say, "Okay." So yeah, that was cool. I think for me, I mean, the worst weather I ever got caught in, I was on HMS Sheffield. It was in 1996, and we were making our way up to Scotland to do a JMC, which is like a joint maritime exercise. And it was my first ship. We'd just left Plymouth, or Guz as we call it, just left Plymouth. And within an hour, there was an engine room fire, which was interesting, and not a serious one, because sailors, matlows as we call them, absolute professionals. Things like that, damage control, fires. Uh, there's so much training. If any of you are in the Navy or have served, let me know in the comments. But you'll be able to relate to what I'm saying. There's so much training that goes involved in kind of firefighting, damage control, and stuff like that. And yeah, there was a fire in one of the engines, and it was put out, thankfully. But I thought, well, this is an interesting start to the deployment. Anyway, a few weeks later, we was off the coast of Scotland, off the west coast of Scotland, and a Force 12 Gal blew in. And HMS Sheffield, it's Type 22 frigate, no longer in service. It was decommissioned many years ago, but search it on Google and you see pictures of the boat. Yeah, it was just absolutely incredible. Up on the bridge, You had the 4.5-inch gun on the forecastle, um, the 4 Exocet missiles on the bow, taking an absolute pummeling. Green water coming over the bow, hitting the bridge. I absolutely loved it. I remember thinking when I first joined my first warship, in the bunk, or in the gulch as we call them, you have kind of belts, kind of seat belts, and I remember thinking, why on earth have you got a seat belt on a bunk? And I found out why during that storm. It was incredible. You could go on the aft flats of the warship, and the overhead piping, you could reach up and grab it because the ship was bending. Um, just incredible. But anyway, that is why I love rough weather. Something about being on board a boat that you trust, kind of taking on the extreme weather. It's just such an exhilarating feeling. It really, really is. That's why I just love rough weather stuff, but only in a boat that I trust. Anyway, it's a bit of waffling from me. Let's see. Got some questions. Let me just catch up. Love all the Dutch boats too. Eric Van Zyl. Yep. Dutch boats. The Dutch have just the amount of people I meet in the Netherlands that have built their own boat, their own steel boat. The boat owner I was talking to today, actually, the first boat that I filmed, the converted fishing trawler stroke cutter. He was telling me that yeah, he acquired the boat in early 2000, and him and his friend built the steel hull because it when they acquired the boat, it had been damaged in a fire beyond repair. So they rebuilt it from the keel up. I just thought, wow, the amount of people in the Netherlands who I speak to that have, they're not even professional boat builders. They just know how to build boats. Yeah, it's crazy. John says, need a slice of lemon in that Corona. Yes, you're right. Corona without a lemon just doesn't hit the same. Definitely could do with a slice of lemon. Not lemon, lime. You need a slice of lime in this. Let's have a look. Simon says Safe Haven Marine Voyager was a brilliant video. Yeah, thanks for that. I really enjoyed that. Spent the day with Frank and his team. He's amazing drone operator. His son was on board as well. And yeah, we just went out, and it's pretty gnarly out there. I mean, if you've seen the video, you've seen the footage of the waves. It was quite interesting, the conditions. But to be on board that boat with Frank and his team was just incredible. And the video ended up being an hour and a half long. And I don't know how long you lot watch videos for, whether you like 10-minute videos or 30-minute videos. Um, but it was an hour and a half, so I had to cut it down into two videos. But it kind of works out really well in the end. But yeah, I'm going back to Ireland next week to film the Mediterranean spec version of the T2000. It's going to be incredible. F1 Matt asks, what RNLI boat is it down there? So Southend RNLI, there's 4 vessels altogether. You've got two ILBs, inland lifeboats, the small ones. You've got one Atlantic 85. They are incredible boats, and there's a hovercraft down there as well. And a big shout out to the men and women in the RNLI. Absolutely, the job they do. For my visitors or my viewers who aren't in the UK, the RNLI is our version of the Coast Guard, and it's manned by volunteers. You have a pager, you carry a pager around with you when you're on watch or on call, and you've got to be within 15 minutes of the lifeboat station. And when that pager goes off, you've got 15 minutes to get to the lifeboat station and launch. Yeah, the men and women, the lifeboats, just absolutely amazing people. I really enjoyed that. I was only there for 2 years, and I had to leave because I, I moved outside of the 15-minute response radius. So I was quite a bit outside that 15-minute response radius. But yeah, I'd love to go back and join an RNLI crew at some point, especially one of their all-weather lifeboats. I would love to be a crew member on one of their all-weather lifeboats. That would be phenomenal. They are phenomenal boats. Again, as she says, my connection's dropped off. I'm really disappointed. I'm in this hotel, and I thought the internet here would be fantastic, but it's a bit of a nightmare. So if I drop off and come back, just bear with me. I think I'm back in the room again. Let me know in the comments if I'm back with you. Let me just go through some of these comments. I really enjoy reading comments. So any questions you want to ask, just chuck them in the comments and I will answer them. Seahorse Marine in China makes some really nice steel trawlers and sail assisted ones as well, like the DD 492. Cheers to that, Catch Par. I'll check that one out. John says, I owned a yacht in Leon Sea, close to Southend. Yeah, Lee's a lovely place. When I was a teenager, I used to go out and volunteer on the fishing boats on the school holidays. So we used to go down to Bell Wharf in Leon Sea and go out with the fishermen. That was cool. That was some good times in the summer. Again, I think that's why I love one of the reasons why I love trawler style yachts, just because having that contact with them at such an early age. I think I was 12, I think 11 or 12. Let's see. I really love those safe haven cats. Grabbing a lightly used 70-footer would be a dream. Absolutely. I would love a pilot boat. That's what I would love. See, for me, my dream in terms of, where I'm at the moment, because I've got an 8-year-old son and a 5-year-old daughter, so I can't really go off cruising around the world. So for me, it'd have to be a weekender boat, but I would love to get a pilot boat, converted pilot boat. It doesn't have to be, luxury 5-star. As long as the engines work, as long as everything is all in order, and go out on a pilot boat out to the Red Sands Towers, go and visit the Montgomery, and bring you all along with me. That would be cool. But I don't have a pilot boat, and they are very expensive, so not much chance of that happening. Um, Requiem Sky says Stradbroke Yachts are the guys building the new Delos 53. I've been following the build like many others. She's going to be a beast. Yeah, I watch Delos and the Vagabond as well. Yeah, I've been watching them for a few years actually. It's great to see. I can't wait to see Delos, the new version of Delos. That'll be interesting. Aluminium cat, and what they know about boats is just incredible. Especially the guy. I can't remember his name. You have to excuse me. I had 5 hours sleep last night, so my memory is a bit skipping all over the place. What's the name of the guy on Delos? Let me know in the comments. But anyway, yeah, his knowledge of boats is just incredible. If you were going to do an Atlantic crossing, whether on a sailing boat or a motor sailor, then that's definitely one guy and girl that you want to have on your boat with you because of what they know about boats. And obviously, the same with the Vagabond as well. Go to Greenland and see the Greenlanders' boats. Anders said, "Yeah, that'd be cool going to Greenland." A friend of mine at the moment actually, he's traveling up to Greenland on his Explorer yacht with his family. But yeah, I love to go to Greenland, especially in the winter when it gets really gnarly. Mr. D1 says, I'm 31. I live aboard a 2003 50-foot azimuth solo. Whereabouts, Mr. D1? Whereabouts is the boat? I bet you had some pretty gnarly conditions up there. Right, anyway, so how long we've been? It's been 40 minutes. Is there anything else you want to ask me before I finish my Corona? Before I started the live stream, I said, okay, I'm going to do however long it takes me to finish my Corona. So I've got that much time left. And the sun's disappearing as well. I don't think I've missed anything in there at all. But yeah, if you've just joined the live stream, this is all just about thanking you all for subscribing. I really do appreciate it. without you subscribing to my channel, I wouldn't get on any boats. So, and I will always and forever be indebted to all of you for your support, for subscribing. I think the thing is, when you're watching YouTubers, they always say about subscribing to the channel, but it is really important, because when you go to a broker and you ask to feature their boat, or you go to a builder, uh, and you say, "Look, I'd love to feature your boat." One of the first things they look at is how many subscribers you've got. They're not really interested in how many views you get per month. I mean, my channel's up to about 800, 900,000 views a month at the moment, but they look at the subscriber count, and that is why I always bore on about subscribing to the channel. Um, yeah, it just makes a really big difference in terms of getting on board boats. Lee Colgate asks, "What is your favourite between a Sunseeker, a Fairline, or a Princess?" That's a good question. Which one is my favourite? To be honest with you, it's been a while since I've been on a Sunseeker, Fairline, or Princess. I've not been on any of those boats since I've had my channel. Um, so I'm not dipping out of the question, but I really couldn't tell you because I haven't been on one for such a long time. I'll have to go on a Sunseeker, a Princess, and a Fairline, and then get back to you, Lee. So yeah, I haven't been on a Sunseeker, Princess, or a Fairline for a long time. Tracy, welcome to the live stream, Tracy. Tracy's asking, is the ship Tamo still for sale? No, she's not. She was sold. I think it was a viewer on one of my videos ended up buying it, and that's the incredible thing with YouTube channels. I know a lot of the boats that I featured on my channel have been purchased by viewers, and that's something I always say to brokers when I say to them about obviously featuring their boat. I say, look, you could get the boat in front of quite a big audience, and the buyer could be in that audience. I remember a few years ago, I spoke to quite an old school broker, and he said to me that nobody ever buys boats based on the YouTube video. And he's been in the industry a long time. I didn't feel that he was asking me, I felt that he was telling me. So I just kind of nodded along. But I thought, no, there's 100%, there's a really good market for channels. But yeah, I know because a lot of the time as well, the my viewers will contact me and say, I've seen your boat. I've got some questions, and do you mind if I ask you some questions? I say, yeah, absolutely. And then they go on, and I put them in contact with the broker, and yeah, they go on to buy the boats, and I still keep in contact with a lot of them actually on WhatsApp, and just see what they're up to. It's really cool. Requiem Sky says Delos is Brian. That's it. Yeah, Brian. Yeah, what he doesn't know about a boat is not worth knowing. Right, I've got this much Corona left. I guess this is like my egg timer. As soon as that goes, I will log off. So I've got to sort out my video footage from today, and I think I've got 6 boats to film tomorrow. So I'm absolutely shattered, which is why my eyes are bloodshot. It's not because I'm half cut on 3/4 of a bottle of Corona. It's just because I'm absolutely shattered. But yeah, it's all good. Have I missed any questions? I don't think so. Lee, Lee said, okay, Fleming or Nordhaven? Fleming or Nordhaven? I haven't been on a Nordhaven for a long time. Honestly, this isn't I'm not bailing out the question. I, can't, I don't think I've ever featured a Nordhaven on my channel. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've not actually been on a Nordhaven and featured. I've been on a Fleming, Fleming 55. That was a beautiful boat, and I'm hoping, I don't know if you follow Freya, it's a Fleming 80 on Instagram, but I know they're in the Mediterranean at the moment. So I'm hoping I might get a chance to go on the Fleming 80. But anyway, Lee, I'm procrastinating. In answer to your question, Fleming or Nordhaven? Well, look, because I've not been on a Nordhaven for a while, I don't feel qualified to pick between the two. But I have been on a Fleming recently, and that was a couple of years ago actually, at the Southampton Boat Show. So yeah, maybe I need to get on Nordhaven. I need to get on Nordhaven and have a look around, film it, and report back to you all, and then I can answer your question, Lee. So look, Lee, I'm really sorry. Like I said, I'm not trying to bail out of your question. I just don't feel that I'm in a place where I can give you an answer because I've not been on a Nordhaven for a while. Broker T says congratulations. Thank you, Broker T. I recognise your handle from the comments you leave on my videos, and I appreciate you being here on this live stream. And I do recognise, yeah, some of these names I recognise, some of them I don't. Mr. D, I don't think I've seen your name on there. F1 Matt, I don't think I've seen that. I don't know what this little crown means next to your name. I guess it's how many times you contributed to the live chat. I've got absolutely no idea. But I think when should we do the next live stream anyway? Because the egg timer, the Corona egg timer, is starting to run out of juice. So we need to think about when we're going to do our next live stream. Maybe when we get to 200,000 subscribers, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the etiquette is. Should it be every 100,000 or should it be 100 and then 250, then 500? I've got no idea. Maybe I'll ask Victoria, Rico, David, and Nick if I go to the Cannes Yacht Festival. I'll ask them what and Tristram, Super Yacht Captain as well. I should ask them what the etiquette is in terms of doing live streams. Fred Bulmer, congratulations and salute. Getting back to work now. Fred, thanks for joining. Cheers to you. Little tap on the cheers. Thanks for joining the live stream. Nordhaven Europe has an N63 on the market. I believe it's based in Southampton. That'd be interesting. Nordhaven 63. I must admit, there are a couple of Nordhavens floating around the UK coast. I do like Nordhavens. I do like Flemings. They're just such incredible boats, because this is the thing. If you're going to be going out and taking your family on board and traveling across the Atlantic or traveling around the Med, crossing the Pacific, you need a boat that you can really, really rely on. Obviously, they've got a fantastic following as well in terms of boat owners, their clubs that they've got and stuff. But yeah, well, I think I've got maybe 5 minutes of Corona left. So if you've got any questions, just drop them in the comments. But no, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed chatting to you all. And like I say, if you do have any questions, just drop them in the comments before I sign off. After this is finished, I'm going to unpack my bag, going to have a shower. I've already had dinner, sort my footage out, and then get my head down because it's going to be a busy day tomorrow filming. Rob, sales away. Congratulations. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining the live stream. It's weird talking to a laptop, to be honest with you. It's kind of weird. You have to sit here and transmit. So I'm conscious of the fact that if I sit here and don't say anything for 10 or 15 seconds, then you're just going to watch me squinting in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen trying to work out if I've missed any questions. So if I've been waffling on a little bit too much, then I do apologise. I'm just trying to make sure there's no uncomfortable silences. Arta Langner says, "Hey, Captain, have you heard about Cormorant yachts?" No, I haven't. But bear me 1 second. Let me just Google it. If you'll talk amongst yourselves for a second. Cormorant yachts. COR. Hang on. Cormorant yachts. I've never heard of cormorant yachts, but let's have a look and see what we got. Let's go images. Oh wow. Have any of you heard of cormorant yachts? I haven't until now, but look at this. Check this out. Hang on. Get a bigger picture. That's nice. Cormorant yachts. Look at that. Yeah, that looks cool. Look at that. Hang on. Oh god, hang on. Let me just try and orientate it. That looks very nice. Very interesting. Have they built one yet, or is this a new concept? Thanks for mentioning them. I shall put them on the radar, the Yacht Boy radar. Made in Gdansk in Poland. I just discovered them a week ago. Polish. Yeah, they are. I mean, have they built any yet? Yeah, wow, check this out. Hang on, look. Stand by. Look at that. That was cool. I love that wheelhouse. You know, there's something about forward raking windows. I don't know what it is. I think it's because they very much remind me of trawlers. Something about a boat with forward raking windows. Yeah, it looks beautiful. Little bowsprit on there as well. Nice angle on the bow. Very nice. Something else to put on the radar. If you've got any other suggestions, then let me know in the comments. You know, they look cool. But yeah, let me know. Have they built one yet? There are some absolutely wonderful and massive lakes in northeastern Poland. Well worth a visit, says Cambridge Punk. Yeah, I remember a couple of years ago, I featured a moon catamaran on my channel. We went from where I live in Essex up to London, and it's pretty blowy. Um, and yeah, they're based in, was it Moon? They're based in Poland. The guy was fantastic. Absolutely, Polish have got such a fantastic sense of humour. They absolutely crack me up. They really do. But yeah, so Cambridge Park says is absolutely wonderful. Massive lakes in northeastern Poland, well worth a visit. Yeah, I need to get on a boat. This is the thing. This is what I was saying right at the beginning of the live stream. That I need a boat. Um, YouTube doesn't quite pay the kind of wedge that you need to buy a boat. But as I said quite a while ago, I am working with a builder to potentially getting hold of a boat for a few months. But yeah, I just miss being out on the water. It's really hard because you go on with these beautiful boats, for a couple of hours, and then you realise when you step off that you don't have a boat, and you're not going to get on one until you sort out another video. So yeah, I would just love to get a boat. I really would. I think the Corona timer has almost run out. It's probably about 10 minutes left. Artist says, I'm Polish. I love your channel. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Top you off a Navy salute there. Thanks for the support. Let me know where you all are in the comments. Where are you from? All of you. We've got someone from Poland. I'm guessing we've got a couple of British viewers because we were talking about the RNLI earlier on. So I'm guessing we've got some Brits in the chat. I think we've got a Dutch guy, a German guy in there as well. But yeah, F1 Matt is from Devon. Ah, Devon. I love Devon. I've got family that live in South Molton in Devon. Very, very nice. Lee lives in Harlow, lives in Surrey now. Arthur's in Dublin, living there since 2005. I'll be going over to Ireland next week. I love Ireland. Such a beautiful country. Very, very nice. I've got my glasses on. Brookden lives in the Faroes. Oh wow, so you're used to some pretty gnarly weather in the Faroes. I think well, even in the summer, it doesn't go above what 15, 20 degrees Celsius. Um, but again, another beautiful part of the world. Fred is from New Zealand. Love your boat tours. Cheers. Thank you, Fred. Appreciate it. Dave Stanley's from Manston near Ramsgate. Love Ramsgate. Requiem Sky is a Yorkshire lad living in Wales. Fantastic. Fantastic. Whereabouts in Wales? Is it in the valleys? I do like Wales as well. I had my stag do actually in Wales and Liverpool. That's a long story. Um, Corona timer. I think we've got probably about 2 minutes left. So if you have got any other final questions before we sign off, then please don't hesitate to drop them in the comments. The Corona is quite warm now as well, so it's getting a little bit harder to drink. That's why it's taken me an hour to drink one bottle of Corona because it's warm and it hasn't got a slice of lime in it. So it doesn't normally take me an hour to drink one bottle. Requiem Sky Langworth. Arta says, I can't believe you react to my comments. Yeah, I'll try and react to all of them. I think I've pretty much everyone has dropped a comment in the live chat. I think I've answered all of them and responded to all of them. If I have missed you out, I don't think I have because I'm pretty particular about things like that. But yeah, right, fatigue is starting to set in now. Um, but yeah, on a closing note, like I say, thank you all for subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your comments. Yeah, it's really cool. Getting back to Nordhaven, Wanu NZ is around the UK, Netherlands. I think he's in London actually. I'm sure he's in St Catherine's Dock. If any of you own boats and you're thinking of coming over to London, go to St Catherine's Dock. It's absolutely lovely there. It's right next to Tower Bridge. Yeah, it's a beautiful part of London. Has a really nice curry house, about 2 minute walk from St Catherine's Dock. Right, anyway, the Corona timer is done. So I'm going to say thank you all for joining the live stream. Once again, thank you for your support. I appreciate it. Make sure you stay tuned because over the next couple of weeks, there's some really cool boats going to be featured. So thank you for spending your time with me on a Thursday evening. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. And until next time, fair winds and following seas. Thank you all. Right, let's just sign off. Or shall I do one more question? Salute. Salute. Just give me 1 second. Let me just figure out how to turn off a live stream. All right, there it is. Bon voyage, my friends. Fair winds and following seas.